Hey, welcome back everyone. John here again with you for part 2. Now, before we go another step, go back and watch last week's video here. Otherwise, you're not going to have a clue what we're talking about and you'll potentially ruin the surprise for yourself. Right, so you have your favorite record, 1, 2, or 3. Now, which is which? The first record was the 2003 remaster, a George Marino remaster, but a Wes Garland at NRP lacquer cut. The second was the Australian OG press on the Albert's label. Which means, of course, the third was the 2009 George Marino remastering, still available as late as 2021, and you can buy that new and sealed today. What I found fascinating about the results in the comments section was that the majority of you were pushing towards the 2009 remastering, although you didn't know it at the time, but that you liked that more clinical, clean, later remastering. Now, that one actually cops a lot of flack online for being too clinical and just not sounding right. So it was really interesting to hear in your honest, blind assessment of the 3 that one was the one you liked better. I think there's a couple of reasons for that. The first is that if you're under 40 years of age, you've grown up on a steady diet of MP3s, digital formats of all kinds. I'm just not sure how an OG analog vinyl would actually sound that good to your ears. If you didn't prefer that brighter, cleaner, harder, trebly sound, I'd kind of be surprised. If you're over 40 and you still preferred that 2009 remaster, it might be that your ears are being tricked by that easier, cleaner sound. It's far more immediate in the top end than the rest. So in a short listen like I gave you, you would probably pick that one first. And if you weren't using headphones like I do, your weaker speakers are definitely going to sound better with that brighter sound sample. But having listened to all 3 records like I have, you're definitely going to find that 2009 remaster will start to sound very shrill after a few minutes. The second reason is that I'm under the limitation of the YT sensors. You probably already know that ACDC material gets blocked really, really quickly, very, very regularly, and so I'm only using 5 or 6 second samples so that I can get past that. Otherwise, I get whacked at the starting line. So I had to be very careful about these samples and keep them extremely short. For that, I really apologize. I much prefer to give you 8 to 15 second samples that you can really hear the difference, but I had to be very, very careful about what I used. The first video from last week is still being allowed to go through, which I'm very grateful for, but that's the kind of copyright restriction that I'm under as a creator on YouTube. So whichever record you chose is neither right nor wrong. They all have their high points. One thing I would ask you now, though, now that you know which is to go back and listen to the Oz OG very closely with a good pair of headphones and do a proper A-B between them. And listen to the vocals with Brian Johnson, particularly on the line Rolling Thunder and Pouring Rain. The depth of the music, everything coming together as one, makes it far better for me. You'll also notice the bass is more real, far more believable, more present, and it really fills the track. The swell of instruments behind him just sounds perfect. The 2003 remaster by comparison is competent, but the 2009 is really unwieldy. It's kind of garish. It hurts my ears. The sound is very thin and the drums sound like tin cans. That's not what you want for an ACDC album. The weight of this sound should be crushing your ears. Now again, that doesn't make me right. I just want to point out what I was able to hear through headphones and what you might be able to discern with a more detailed listen. I would love to hear what you think and if anything has changed for you, so leave me a comment. Thanks for watching and see you soon.